Hello! Sorry it took me so long to get back to you. Here is a quick guide towards finding ebsco databases, getting access to them, and basically getting into the psychology-related ones too, because there's a whole bunch of them. So first of all, like all resources that cost money, we have to log in, right? So you can log in here to off-campus access, or if you log in through Canvas or cis.utah.edu, you'll be in that wrapper of login. Otherwise, you might not get access. Second thing to know is that if you go to ebsco out on the open web, it's not going to connect you. You have to go in through libutah.edu, the library website. So after you've logged in and you've gone to this interface, you go to databases. In this interface, you can go straight to ebsco. That's the first one. And then I'll show you how to get to the psychology version of that. If you go to E, you just go by name. ebsco. You want ebsco host databases. There's some classes where they say, oh, you want to search all of them. So there's like gerontology, there's biology, there's history, there's all sorts of different things in here. So if you do select all, you are going to get like a vast array of different things. So the psychology will be included in that. But if you go into the advanced search and you do, so psychology, we want like a population. So let's say adolescents, and sometimes it'll give you synonyms. So I'm like, yeah, I'm interested in adolescents or teenagers or young adults. And then if you're looking for a particular study or intervention or issue, so maybe like depression or anxiety, we don't know how the scholars are going to describe it. And then you can talk about maybe the issue. So social media. Oh, here they even have like all the different versions of social media. I'll just leave it open like that. When it's searching through all of the ebsco databases, it's going to look for these specific character sets. So it's not looking for anxiety and its synonyms and related terms. It's only looking for anxiety. It's looking for an exact character match. It doesn't matter if it's capital or not. But if it doesn't have one of those words in there, then it won't show up. So what problem that we've got here is we've got journals that are like, there's an education journal. Oh, here's a psychology one. Psychology, there's another education journal. So you can see that it's a little bit here and there. It looks like it's heavy with education. If you wanted to take this same search and do it in just psychology only, I'll go back to the library homepage, go to databases, and on this one, you do the pull-down menu called subject and go to psychology. And this works for a variety of different things. But if your subject doesn't show up, for example, public policy doesn't show up. So if you need help with that, just reach out to the library. So you'll see two things. One, you'll see the database that is the most favorite of the librarian, the psychology librarian, who I think is on vacation right now, which is why I'm answering the question. I do sociology, social work, social sciences. But you can see more in that person's subject guide. But let's go into PsycInfo specifically. Here's the deal. So let's go to advanced search. I got a text. Here's the deal. How do you tell? Because ebsco, it looks the same interface. So you see right here it says PsycInfo. And if you go over to this one, it says Academic Search Ultimate, which is just kind of like a conglomeration of everything. So we got 6,865 results. So if we narrow down just to psychology database, let's see what we get. So now we're omitting, whoa, only 984. Another thing that classes will often ask you to do, less in psychology, but you can narrow down to a specific year. So Did social media exist in 1993? Maybe, but let's come up to like since the pandemic, or maybe just like the middle of the pandemic to the end. And now it only cut it in half, so there's like 450. But then let's go and say, I only want it to be academic journals. I wonder if it has a peer-reviewed checkbox. No, it's just academic journals. So that's scholarly journals, if you've ever heard that. And then narrows down to 372, and you're like, maybe I want to go even farther in and go off of the subject, and you can see what all the articles are written about. So it looks like anxiety is the top one, and depression is lower. So I'm like, no, I don't want that. Distress, epidemiology, no. Ooh, body image. That one's fascinating. There was a big deal with Instagram creating unrealistic body image issues with young women. And I think Instagram got sued. And then we have the articles themselves. When you get into this level of an article, and you can always change the keywords too as you go. So it's kind of like a mix and match. There's no right way of doing it. You just kind of experiment until you find what you're looking for. But say, for example, I like these two articles. So cyber victimization, longitudinal association. Both of them look really good. This one, I've got access to full text, no problem. But on this one, it says, find it, view it. What does that mean? In our library, if you go back to that main database search, there's all these databases. This view it means that it will look in all of those to see if it can find your full text. And so you don't have to go out and do the search again. This is kind of like doing a catalog search for the title of that article. And it's thinking about it. This is not encouraging. Okay, I hit reload. And it'll say, okay, look in this database. And we click on that database. And it forwards us to a different interface altogether. And it gives us no full text. If you run stuck like that, you don't have to know how to find these things. You can reach out to any of the librarians for help in tracking this down. But you can also do this request an article, or you can go to the library homepage and ask for it via interlibrary loan. Interlibrary loan is pretty much just like, I can't get the article myself, so I'm going to do a new request for an article, and you just fill in that citation data. And our handy people in interlibrary loan will go out and grab that article and send it to the same interface, so you don't have to track it down. That takes about half a day at the slowest. 10 minutes at the fastest is our record that I've heard of. One thing also to note is when you're in an article in the EBSco databases, you can email yourself the info, and you can also grab a citation. So you're probably doing APA, so you could just grab that. So this one looks pretty good, but sometimes they get some capitalization and things like that wrong. Let me know how it goes. I'll be here today and tomorrow. I hope this answers your question, but have a good one.